What happens if you hire one lawyer and then you show up to court to find a whole different lawyer standing there at your side? I'm attorney Andrew Flushy, and this channel is about defending your rights and protecting your freedoms. Please subscribe for a new video every other Tuesday. This situation happens a lot in traffic cases. Lawyers overbook themselves and ask their buddies or colleagues to cover their cases for them. You get a ticket, you do your due diligence, you carefully select the lawyer who's going to represent your best interests in court, you pay them your hard-earned money, and they end up sending somebody else to court on your behalf. And sometimes if you don't go to court, you may never even know that this happened. I routinely get asked to cover cases for colleagues when they overbook themselves, and frankly, most of the time, I refuse to do it because I don't think it's good for the client. You as the client hired an attorney to go to court, and you deserve that attorney being you in the courtroom to handle your interests and to defend your case. This is one reason I don't ask colleagues to cover cases for me. If you hire me as your attorney, I go for you. That's my job. A lot of times, a client will be picking between me and some competitor of mine. They end up hiring the competitor for some reason. And then the competitor calls me to handle the case. You chose your attorney for a reason, and you end up with some different attorney standing at your side in court. Now, I'm not talking about a situation where an attorney might fall ill. If somebody falls ill, that's a little different. It could be understandable if your attorney falls ill and they have a buddy stand in for them to try to continue your case for you or try to resolve it if you're agreeable to that, if you know what's going on. What I'm talking about are traffic cases like speeding, reckless driving, where colleagues take cases all over the state, hours away from their office. And they book themselves in multiple courts on one single day where they can't possibly be everywhere they need to be. And then they ask buddies to cover their cases saying, oh, I've got a schedule conflict. Well, it happens. Sometimes we have schedule conflicts, but it doesn't mean that you need to throw your clients under the bus. So what can you do about this? First of all, if you're interviewing attorneys, you can ask the attorneys, do you ever have colleagues cover cases for you? The answer for me is no. The answer for a lot of people would be yes, if they're being truthful. Secondly, if you show up to court and you find there's a different attorney there for your case than the person you hired, simply ask them what's going on, and if you don't agree to the situation that's taking place, ask them to just continue the case so your real attorney can be there the next time. And frankly, it might be time to consider switching attorneys. You have the absolute right to switch attorneys anytime you choose, and that might be a situation you may want to think about. The good news is if you ask the right questions when you're interviewing attorneys, you screen attorneys carefully, and you read lots of their online reviews, you should end up with a trustworthy, solid attorney at your side. Of course, if you have a case around the Fredericksburg area, please contact my office and I'd be delighted to help you. Let's talk about this. When you're hiring an attorney, what are you concerned about? What issues are on your mind? Drop a comment below and let's have a conversation. And remember, don't talk to the police.